Sebastian Vettel won his second consecutive Formula One World Championship title with the Adrian Newey designed RB7 right here. This is powered by a 2.4-litre V8, and very soon Mumbai cars are going to get a chance to listen to this car live here, right here in Mumbai, all thanks to former Formula One driver David Coulthard. The last time Indians saw a Formula One race car burn some rubber on Indian city streets was 8 years ago when David Coulthard created magic at the F1 Showrun in Hyderabad. But Mumbaikars hadn't heard the roar of a V8 since Coulthard's much talked about flat-out drive through the Bandra ceiling in 2009. 13 years later, it's fair to say we were more than ready to give our eyes and ears an F1 treat, all thanks to 13-time Grand Prix winner turned F1 pundit and TV presenter David Coulthard. David, welcome to India. 13 years later, how has the trip been so far?
It's been fantastic because not only have I had the opportunity, as you mentioned, to discover a little bit of your amazing country in previous visits, I've seen now how the interest is growing in Formula One. And just, you know, this is a vibrant, growing economy, and I think it's important that to be a true world championship, Formula One should be back here in India.
Would you attribute the importance of the sport today with like a show like Drive to Survive on Netflix? Because a lot of people think they know more of the drivers and the teams, you know, what's going on behind it. Would you attribute the popularity to that?
Yeah, I think that what the whole Netflix phenomenon, because it has been a phenomenon, how it's excited such a change in the younger generation especially, and a lot of young girls and young women have really been connecting with Formula One in a way through the personalities, the drivers, the way they interact, the team principles. And that was something that historically in Formula One we never really got the chance to show, because it was the race and the drivers race with a helmet and you don't see their faces, and they get out afterwards and go, hey, I'm happy, and it's all kind of generic. This is really given an opportunity to see them behind the scenes, and a lot of other sports now are also trying to replicate that kind of access.
All right, and you started your career when the V12 era was pretty much still on the grid. You drove through the V10 and the V8, and today we have the V6 turbo hybrid era. Have you had a chance to drive the V6 cars of late, and what was your favorite era?
Yeah, I drove the V6 hybrid, and what's really different from this generation of car is the torque, the initial reaction. Anyone who has an electric car will get super excited, you push the power and something happens straight away. Well, I really enjoyed the early era of my career, the V10, the wide track, slick tire cars. A lot of my career through regulation change was on these narrow track, 98 onward, they had groove tires, which was to reduce the contact patch, to try and slow the speeds in the corners. All of that worked in achieving what the regulations, you know, our governing body is the FIA, but it didn't give the best driving experience. It's still Formula One. If you win, you're still happy. But I really enjoyed, let's say, the 1995 car that I raced in the early part of my Formula One career, just because it felt big and powerful and a lot of grip, and it to me represented my image of Formula One when I was growing up.
Right, because it's a lot of downsizing ever since then, right? So I don't want it to be politically correct about, you know, it has to be fuel efficient and we are in that era. But back in 2005 when Red Bull entered Formula One, there were a lot of skeptics who said, you know, an energy drink company in Formula One. Do you think you took a gamble back then, or do you think, you know, of course history tells another story today?
Yeah, of course. A lot of people would think, how can an energy drinks manufacturer compete with the automotive makers, your Ferraris, who've got history in Formula One since the beginning, Mercedes, Renault, and Honda, and companies like that? Well, what I had already been in Formula One long enough to realize is it's not the name above the door that gives you success. If that was, then probably Ferrari is the biggest name in Formula One. It's the people, and you've got to have the right people. And in Red Bull, Mr. Marusich, who sadly passed away last year, he had a passion for Formula One, for motorsport. He needed to market his product, and the two could work very well. He didn't like to just be a sponsor, because then you're at the whim of the management and the people who own the team. So he had the financial resolve to own, and then he had the commitment to say to Christian, to myself, to everyone who was there at the beginning of that journey, and say, okay, you're the people who know about Formula One. What do we need? And it was fantastic.
Way back in 2009, when you came down to India, you crossed the speed limit at the Bandra ceiling.
Yeah.
Have you paid that fine yet, or are you planning to compound it this weekend?
Well, I haven't seen anyone come to me from the police or whoever who handles that, but yeah, it was of course an opportunity to go onto the ceiling and go a little bit quicker than what the regulations would allow. But I think they've maybe just parked that fine.
And boy, were the streets packed with Oracle Red Bull Racing fans who were pouring in from all across the city to catch a glimpse of the legendary Scot in a championship-winning car.
My name is Amey Nikam and I have come here all the way from Pune. I just wanted to watch a Formula One car from a long time. So that was a great experience for me.
I'm from Pune and I came all the way to Mumbai just to see a glimpse of the Red Bull racing. So yeah, really excited.
If there's one thing the Oracle Red Bull Racing team is famous for, other than dominating race weekends of course, is putting together unforgettable shows. And that's exactly what DC went on to do across the iconic Bandra bandstand sea face for close to 25,000 spectators.
I loved the show. The show was amazing. He did a donut. It was really, really amazing. I really liked the show.
I'm really glad that was a part of this in India, and I think the F1 culture is going to build a lot.
If there's anything we've learned from the Showrun today is that India has plenty of F1 fans and we are definitely ready for an Indian GP. Coming up shortly, we ride the Kiwi V302C cruiser bike. Stay with us, you're watching Overdrive.